Good Erev Shabbos, everyone. Shabbos Mevorchim in the month of Tammuz. Today is Chav Zayin Sivan. Happy birthday to my daughter Sarah, who turns 18. L'chaim Tovim, L'sharim Toivos, Arichas Yamim. The Rebbe in 1991 spoke a lot about the 27th of the month, in the month of Nisan, and then again in the month of Sivan, especially the month of Sivan. That's the third month, because the 27th of the month is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27, and that signifies the Chazakah of the month, and especially the month of Sivan, which is the third month of the year, counting from Nisan, and there's Matan Torah, which is 3, to the Klal Yisrael, which is 3, like the Gemara in Shabbos says, and Reb Nisan Gaon tells us about the power of number 3, specifically with Matan Torah, and that comes to a C, so to say, on the 27th of the month, and then empowers the 28th of the month, which is the Koyach of Sivan, where we have the full strength of the month of Sivan on the 28th of the month. In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed out to the United States from Spain. And in 1941, the Rebbe and the Rebbetzin sailed out to the United States from Portugal. The Rebbe arrived in the United States, on the 28th of Sivan. 165 years after the founding of the United States. This year we're celebrating 85 years of the Rebbe coming to the United States and 250 years of America. In 1991, the Rebbe celebrated 50 years of Jubilee of coming to the United States. And the Rebbe spoke then that it was the idea of the furthering the message and the preparation of the world for Mashiach. The Torah was given on Chatzikar Der Elyon, on the top part of the globe, the top part being Eretz Yisrael. The bottom part of the globe hasn't been a place of Torah. It was the shtetl, the life of Europe, that's all in the top part of the globe. Only with the coming of Christopher Columbus and then eventually the founding of the great United States of America did civilization first make it to the west, to the bottom part of the globe, and with it came Torah. And then after 165 years, when the Rebbe came, it finalized the preparation of Yerfutzu Manesecha Chutza, like the Rebbe spoke, that the Baal Shem Tov was told by Mashiach, that's not enough for the waters to spill over, but you have to actually bring the spring itself. And when the Rebbe came to the United States, that started that the spring itself, the spring of the Torah HaChasidus, of the Torah of the Baal Shem Tov, which the world depends on for the coming of Mashiach, like the Mashiach told the Baal Shem Tov, when the well springs of Chassidus spread out to all places of the globe, then Mashiach is going to come. And the next stage of that was on the 28th of Sivan in 1941. And now that we're celebrating 85 years, going into the 86th year Shem Elikim, and we're getting ready for all the negativity, all the gvuras are past. Now we go into the moment of Chesed, in the Medinas of Chesed, in the country of Chesed. And the founding of the United States, 165 years before the Rebbe coming, was to prepare the world for the teachings of Chassidus, and through that for the getting ready of Mashiach. And this is actually connected both to Parshas Shalach and Parshas Korach. Korach we read in Eretz Yisrael, and Shalach we're reading in Chutz La'aretz. That the Rebbe says an amazing thing in his talk in 1991 on Chav Ches Sivan, that unlike conventional wisdom, that at best the story of the spies was just a setback, but the Rebbe and because of it, we look and we see the outcome. The Jewish people had to stay 40 years in the desert. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't go into the land. Had they gone in with the spies given back seemingly a good report, they would have gone in. Moshe would have gone in. It would have been a whole different entrance to Eretz Yisrael. It would have been a Gula Mitas. But in the same time, it didn't happen. So seemingly, at best, it's just a setback. The Rebbe says not only is it not a setback, it's progress. Because true progress is realizing Yisrein Ha'ara Bar Min HaChayshech, is the light that comes from the darkness itself. Not the light that pushes away the darkness, but seeing the light in the darkness itself. The Rebbe said that Moshe sending the spies was the preparation for Mashiach. Even though the outcome didn't seem that way, and Moshe didn't go in physically because of that, and the spies and the Jewish people stayed 40 years in the desert, but the only way Yeshua was able to go in and properly conquer the land and make the land Eretz Yeshev, but Yeshev is a place that people could settle to fulfill the mission of making the world a dir b'tachtonim, is because Moshe sent the spies. And so too is true in every situation in our life. The personal message a person has to go and spy out in their own space, to make their space into Eretz Yisrael. Like the Rebbe says, Machta Eretz Yisrael, make every space that you have influence, Eretz Yisrael. Is even when there's situations that seem like setbacks, or seem like even more than a setback, something as disastrous as the seemingly of the spies, we have to know that not only is not a setback, it's part of the progress of getting the job done. And now that we go into Parshas Korach, and we talk about the error, the claim that Korach had against Kahuna, and we have the story of the staff, like we spoke many times, that talks about the power of the Birchas Kohanim. Kohen is Isha Chesed. We're starting now a Zman of Chesed, a time of Chesed. And the Rebbe says the power of the Kohen is that even though sometimes progress has to be made through overcoming obstacles, but also the power of the Birchas Kohanim is to break through those obstacles. And after we get the blessing of the Kohen, we no longer see the obstacles. That we should be able to see and accomplish what we have to accomplish to bring the final moments till we get to Mashiach in a way of Chesed and Rachmim. It should only be in a way of abundance, in a way of Menucha, in a way of Bitachon Godel, that we could get the job done with confidence. And we should march together in Mashiach Tzidkenu b'mheir b'meinu mamash. Good Shabbos.